I'm going to focus on how to handle a stress interview, an interview where the examiners or interviewers are out to get you. Fine. To start with, about 90% of interviews which candidates come out and say are stress interviews are not stress interviews. And keep that in mind. Don't go in expecting this vague thing called as a stress interview. There is a 99% chance that your interview will not be a stress interview. For all practical purposes, do not prepare for a stress interview. Do not assume the interview is out to get you. Very often interviewers get irritated when you try to be too smart. Cut that whole idea of trying to be smart and conveying a really witty thing which is not really funny. Don't do any of that. Be formal, be polite, be courteous. Showcase that you can have a sense of humor without slipping into slapstick mode. Right? So you will not get a stress interview. For the major part of my answer for how to prepare for a stress interview is going to be do not prepare for a stress interview. Right? When does an interview slip into the stress interview mode? Is when you say a series of I don't know, and it looks like you are coming under pressure. Sometimes the interviewer, in many interviews, it's like kind of vaguely formalized, institutionalized ragging. The interviewer feels like this kid here is feeling it a little bit. Let me push her a little bit. Let me push him a little bit. Let me see if he's going to crack comprehensively or can retain his wits about him. So they'll ask you a couple of cranky questions. If you're given 3 questions for which I don't know is the answer that you have given, which you should have known, they might throw 3 more, for which I don't know is the expected answer. But you might not believe that. By the time you've answered 3 I don't knows, you feel like you're down in the dumps. So they ask you 3 questions for which you have no idea that you don't believe that you don't need to know the answer. You answer an I don't know with the huge apology written all over your face. Right? They want you to showcase that, look, those 3 I didn't know. This I don't know. Why are you asking me this? I don't know. Or say, look, I can hazard a guess, but I'm not really sure. This is not my thing, but let me just try to work it out. Something like that, where you say, look, let me figure it out. Let me try it. Or you say, I don't know without wilting. That's all it's going to be. This whole story about the interviewer screaming at you, throwing something at you, all of that is just humbug. A bunch of guys have created these myths. 99% of stress interviews that are claimed as stress interviews by students outside are not. They are ill prepared and they deliver very poor answers, and they come under pressure and they claim the interview is out to get them. They're not. So be well prepared. Keep your wits with you. Always wear a smile. Believe wholeheartedly that your interview is not a stress interview and you're good.